So, good afternoon, friends. Once again, today we have gathered here just to complete the content of the first chapter, that is the structures of materials. So, in the last lecture, we have just completed about all the defects which is occurred in the crystals or metals. So, just we will take the overview of those defects. So, first of all, the defects which is related to the point defect, then the line defect, then the surface defects, or the defects may be occurred due to the vibrations in the atoms. So basically the point defects that we have seen about the various types of the point defects are there. After the line defect, again there are the various types of the line defects and the planar defect. Now the next important concept related to this particular topic, that is the plastic deformation. So basically, what is the meaning of plastic deformation? You just try to understand. When we are putting any kind of that load on any metal or any kind of that structure, basically at the end, if we are going to extend that particular load in the repetitive manner, so there will be a chances that might be the fracture may appear, that is that particular metal or that material will be gets filled because some sort of that deformation may be occurred. So the best example of that, uh, in our childhood stage, we are just playing with the balloon, and in that balloon, whatever may be the at the bottom of the balloon, there is some sort of that rubber has been provided. So basically that rubber, it is just providing some sort of that yielding phenomena, that is it has been gets extended when we are just throwing that particular balloon and it is going away from us because that rubber has been get extended. Similarly, that springs, so whatever the spring we are using in our pen or in the suspension system, that has been some sort of that deflection may be occurred, and that spring has been get extended because of that some sort of that forces. But after that, what we have observed, in case of that rubber of that particular balloon, again it has been pulling back that particular balloon, and that rubber is getting it or coming into its original form. So the deformation is occurred, but again that material will be comes back into its original size and shape. Similarly for the spring, when we are pressing the spring, some sort of that extension may be happen because of that equal and opposite reaction. So that spring extension may be happen, but again that particular spring is coming back into its original size and shape, and this kind of that deformation is called as an elastic deformation. So in elastic deformation, basically the material will be gets deformed, but immediately that particular material or that metal, it comes back into its original size and shape. So there is no any fracture may be appeared. The deformation is occurred, it is the temporary. So after that particular deformation, again that particular metal or that particular material is brings into its original size and shape, that is that particular phenomena is called as an elastic deformation. So up till that particular content, we have just go with that particular concept of the elastic deformation, but the next phase after the elastic deformation is the plastic deformation. Means basically, if we'll pull that particular rubber with beyond its capacity to bring back, what is exactly happening? So that rubber will be gets fractured. So after the elastic deformation, the next phase in that particular metal or material is of plastic deformation phase, and after the plastic deformation, the material will be permanently fractured, or it will be just failed. It cannot be able to come back into its original size and shape. So before the fracture and after the elastic deformation, the in-between phase is called as a plastic deformation. Means the material will not be bring into its original size and shape, but material will not be failed also. So whatever may be the deformation is appeared in the material, it will be in the permanent phase. So if the solid body is loaded beyond the elastic limit, the body will be experience a permanent change in the size, shape and size, even if the load is removed. So even if load has been removed, it will not be come back into its original size and shape. So that particular phase is called as a plastic deformation. So the plastic deformation of metal and alloy is generally studied under the two categories. So basically the first category is plastic deformation of single crystal and second is plastic deformation of polycrystalline material. So this phenomena has been studied with these two categories. One we will study with the single crystal. So whatever the plastic deformation is occurred in a single crystal, that phenomena we will study. And the second is the polycrystalline material. So whatever the plastic deformation occurred in polycrystalline materials, so this will be the second category for the plastic deformation in metal and alloy. So the plastic deformation, we will go with the first concept, that is the plastic deformation of single crystal. So this is the first category. So what is the meaning of single crystal and all those aspects that we have cleared, but again we will just go with that. The plastic deformation of single crystal involves the study of a particular single crystal and observing how it behaves under the stress. So when we are putting any kind of that load on any crystal, on a single crystal, only we are taking care of that. Our study is only limited with that particular single crystal itself. So how the changes is occurring in that particular single crystal after that particular load. So when we are applying the load, the stresses has been generated. So how that crystal is behaving in that particular situation, how the changes in that particular crystal, that we will study. So first of all, might be that crystal will be under the elastic deformation, and after the elastic deformation, that particular crystal will be deformed permanently. So that is the plastic deformation. Means when we will remove the load, that crystal will not be bring back into its original size and shape. So a single crystal is nothing but a single grain and has no any grain boundaries. So there will not be any grain boundaries. So the plastic deformation in a single crystal maybe takes place by a slip, by a twinning, or a combination of both. So what is the meaning of slip? What is the meaning of twinning? And the combination, that we will see in the next slides. So before going for that, first of all we will try to clear the concept what exactly the changes are occurring. So first of all, during the service, that is the structure, machine or tool, etc., and during the processing, so these changes may be happen because of some sort of that load and forces. So that load and forces are coming during the service, that is structures or machining or tooling, or during some sort of that processes, that is the forging, rolling, casting, likewise. So because of those things, the load or forces may be occurred into any kind of that metal or material. So what the exactly the happenings will be there? So there are the basically three kind of that things maybe happen with the metal. One might be there is no any change in the size and shape. Second, there will be a change in a shape, and third, it might be breaks into the pieces. So these three things may be happen with that particular metal or material when we are applying the force or load on that particular material. So basically, in case of what will be the mechanics of that particular happening. So first, if there is no any change, then it means no deformation or minute elastic deformation. This is the first. Either it will not be deformed anyway, or very minor elastic deformation may be occurred. Second, excessive elastic deformation. Third phase will be the yielding or plastic deformation. That is the what will be happen after applying the load. And fourth phase will be the fracture. So the second, third and fourth steps are related to the failure of that particular metal. So basically when we are applying the load on any material or any metal or alloy, anything you can be able to say. So first, there will not be change in its size and shape. That means it will not be deformed. Second, when we are going to extend that particular load or force, there will be starting of elastic deformation and it will be reached to the excessive form, that is the excessive elastic deformation beyond its capacity. In the third step, it will be a permanently deformed, that is called as a plastic deformation. And after the permanent deformation, if you are again extending the load, then it will be the failure may happens, that is called as a fracture may be appear on that particular metal. So basically in the no deformation means it is the structural applications basically. So in the structural applications, structural in the sense, take the example of beam or some sort of that columns. So these are the some sort of a structural application. So there is no any basically deformation. Even some sort of that load is you are putting up that load of that particular slab and likewise. So there is no any kind of that deformation. In the elastic deformation, the example of the elastic deformation is the spring. So basically in the spring we can be able to see that some sort of that elastic deformation may be appeared. Then in the plastic deformation, basically the metal working application like strengthening and all. So in that case there is no any elastic deformation, but that whatever may be the material it is there, it has been permanently deformed. Okay, so in case of plastic deformation plus fracture, that is called as a machining and testing. So in during the testing or during the machining, these two phases may be occurred, that is the plastic deformation plus fracture. So after the plastic deformation, immediately there will be a fracture. Now after this, the first system that we have to discuss about the sleep system. So here we have just taken the example. This is into the two or three categories: slip, twinning and a combination. So what is the meaning of slip system? That is the preferred planes. First of all, for the dislocation moment, that is called as slip planes. So then second is the preferred crystallographic directions. These are called as slip direction. So these are the two concepts for the slip plane, that is nothing but the preferred plane for the dislocation moment and preferred direction. So movement as well as the direction. So that is called as a slip plane and slip directions. So slip plane plus directions, it is the slip system. By when we are considering about these two effects, that is the slip plane and slip direction, it is nothing but the slip system. So more number of slip system indicates that material is ductile. That is, if the planes and directions are more, that is that particular material is having the phenomenon of the ductility. So what is the meaning of ductility? Means we can be able to drawn into the wire that much stress, we can be able to stretch that particular material, so that material will be gets elong and elongation and it will not be fail. So we can be able to drawn into the thin wire also. So that is called as that phenomenon is called as a ductility. So normally the number of slip systems, if it is more than 5, basically that material is the ductile material. So what is the meaning of slip system? That is the slip planes plus slip directions. So if the slip planes and slip direction, if it is the more than 5, basically that material is the ductile material. So most of the BCC materials are the ductile in nature. So first is the mechanism of plastic deformation in the metal of slip. So the two prominent mechanism of the plastic deformation, namely slip and twinning. So slip means slip is the prominent mechanism of the plastic deformation in metal. It involves sliding of the block of crystal over one other along a definite crystallographic plane called as a slip planes. So basically the blocks of crystals are one over the another. So it is the definite crystallographic plane. So this plastic deformation by the slip, what is the meaning of that? The slip is the most common mode of plastic deformation amongst the crystal. When a single crystal in a tension is stretched beyond the elastic limit. So the single crystal under the tension in the sense that is the tension loading, when we are applied the tensile loading on that particular metal, so that single crystal deformation will be occurred and step appears such that the single crystal divides into the two blocks. So basically it has been divided into the two blocks. So when the tensile load is further increased, the blocks becomes again divided and relative displacement maybe takes place. So basically first when some sort of the tensile stress or tensile loading condition is there, so first that metal has been divided into the two blocks. When we are increasing that particular tensile load, that number of blocks will be again divided into the few more blocks. So the slips occurs due to the moment of dislocation through the crystals. Now this is as has been shown in this particular figure. So you can be able to understand through this. Suppose if this is the particular block and on this particular block if we are applying the load, so it will be changes like this. But this sudden change will not be occurred. This change is occurred in the stepwise manner. So the square crystal deformed to the rhombus. So this will be a suppose a square crystal it is there. So this square crystal is finally deformed into this particular rhombus. So how that particular phases has been occurred, here we can be able to see that. So these phases are occurred in this particular manners. So that is first of all the dislocation has been started. So this will be happening like this. Here we can be able to see. So basically suppose this will be a structure and when we are applying the load, the dislocation has been started. So in this direction the remaining blocks will be start deviating. So here we can be able to see the step when the dislocation leaves the crystal. So this is the basic structure and then these blocks will be start moving. So here in this when we are again applying the load, then this kind of that structure may be formed. So here again the dislocation will be starting into the third block. So this is the first block, second and third. Again this will be a dislocation. So if again we are extending that particular load, so this kind of the structure may be start forming. So these are the blocks 1, 2, 3. So stepwise step that deformation will be occurred and this particular phenomena is called as a slip. So here we can be able to see in this particular 6 diagrams are there. So how that number of blocks has been deformed start to the deformation. So once it has been reached to its limit, again the next block will be start deforming and finally here we can be able to observe. So these kind of that crystal structure may be formed in that particular crystal because of that movement into the blocks. So that particular crystal structure is divided into the number of blocks and finally this sequence of events finally leads to deform a shape which can be approximately to a rhombus. So this will be a block and finally the net change will be the this particular rhombus. So this is all related to the slips. So the slip steps means slip steps where the dislocation exits from the crystal onto the surface of compressed single crystals. So this is all about the phenomena of slips. So I think whatever may be the plastic deformation phases are there, then some sort of that how the exactly the steps of the slips has been occurred, this particular things has been cleared now. Because just see, this is the phenomena of slip and twinning. First of all, you should understand what is the meaning of plastic deformation, how the deformation is takes place, and second, after the plastic deformation, it has been the 2 or 3 combinations, that is the slip, then twinning, and then the combination of these two, slip and twinning. So I think whatever the concepts related to the slip as well as that twinning, in the next part we will go with the concept of that twinning, but basically right now up to the slip it has been very clear what is the meaning of exactly how the slips has been occurred. Now the next is the mechanism of plastic deformation in the metal by the twinning. So what is the twinning that we will see over here? The portion of crystal takes up an orientation that is related to the orientation of the rest of the untwinned lattice in a definite symmetrical way. So the twinned portion of the crystal is the mirror image of the parent crystal. So here just a part of that, when the deformation will be occurred, one particular crystal has been created a mirror image, so it has been deformed into the second phase, but it creates the mirror image. So that is called as a twinning plane. So here, what is the twinning plane or what is its plastic deformation? In twinning, each plane of atom moves through a definite distance and in the same direction. So the deformation will be occurred into the same direction and it has been moved into the definite distance. So these two words are very important, that is a definite distance and in the same direction. So the extent of the moment of each plane is proportional to its distance from the twinning plane. So the distance or whatever the moment of each plane, it will be a proportional to its distance. Then when a shear stress is applied, the crystal will be twinned about the twinning plane in such a way that the region to the left of the twinning plane is not deformed, whereas the region to the right is deformed. So when the shear stress is applied, the crystal will twin about the twinning plane. So left twinning plane, it will not be deformed, but the right will be gets deformed. So the automatic arrangement on either side of the twinned plane is such a way that they are the mirror reflection to each other. So this particular diagram will be gets cleared. So here just see, from this portion to this portion, it will be create a mirror image like this over here. So this will be a twinned region. So this portion will be created and this will be a twinning plane and this is the direction. So this is the basic crystal structure and it has been divided into this. So it has been created the twinning plane. So here if we will create the reflected mirror of this, you will get the reflected mirror over here, and it is because of this particular twinning plane and this twinning direction. So here it will be a comparison of slipping. Suppose it will be a original crystal. So when the slip plane will be occurred, it has been divided into the blocks and the block will be deformed one over the above. And if it is under the twinning deformation, here you can be able to see exactly the mirror image of this will be created over here and this will be a twinning plane. So I hope this particular lecture, now everything about the slip and the twin, that has been cleared. So this particular suppose that crystals are there, so this is the undeformed, the crystals are there, and after the deformation, so this is when after the slip one over the above, this crystals has been divided. But here in case of twinning, exactly the mirror image because of that plane will be gets created. So this is all about the slip and twinning, and I hope you have cleared about the plastic deformation. Now after this only one lecture is required to complete the chapter number 1. So soon we will finish that chapter number 1, and then we will go with the next chapter, that is the chapter number 2 related to the non-destructive testing. So I hope up till first part, after finishing the first lecture, we will take the overview of the first lecture, what is the required it is there, and how you can be able to complete all those part, and then we will go with the second topic. So thank you very much for the patience listening.